Barku, a breath to spark the human heart. G'day there, friends and family. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Barku podcast. That's right, I'm starting things over again because I've got a little project that I'd like to share with you and maybe invite you to participate in, actually. See, recently I've felt myself, I've come to a bit of a crossroads in life, sort of entering that second half of life and seeing things a little differently, and perhaps some of the tired old ways of doing things are no longer working. And when you find yourself standing at that crossroads, you have a decision to make. Do you return to the well-worn path, the beaten path, the familiar path, the one that you've already experienced, or do you diverge? Do you take a different route and do you try something new? And recently, I felt a sense of call to try something new. And a sense of call is a peculiar idea. Not long ago, I was standing down at a campground with my friend Matt, and we were talking about skateboarding of all things. And he said, "Mark, I think this is calling us." We proceeded to get pads and gear and threw ourselves into the bowl riding skateboard scene, and it's been a blast. And there's a lesson in this, I think, for me. If something feels like it's pulling you forward, if it feels like it's connecting with you on a deep level, on a level of your spirit, if you feel like it's going to bring a whole lot of joy to your life, provided it's not detrimental to your health or hurting people around you. I mean, if you can run it through the filter, is it good for you, good for the people around you, and good for the greater good, then go for it. And yes, you'll experience a bit of resistance in the beginning because anything new comes with a little bit of fear and intrepidation, because the old stories, the old ideals that we've been raised on, that we've internalized, are sure to rear their heads. But really, if something's calling you forward, it's worth at least giving it a go. And that's exactly what this project is about. Project, I'd like to call it 11-11-22. The number 11 seemed to just pop into my head. Another 3 a.m. wake up. And I just thought, imagine if I made 11 pieces of artwork and wrote 11 songs. And it just so happens that the 11th of the 11th, 22 is just over 11 weeks away, which means each week from now on, for the next 11 weeks, I'll be writing a song and I'll be producing a piece of artwork. And I thought this will be fun on my own, but how much better would it be to do this with some friends? So if you're listening to the podcast and you think, yeah, there's a niggle, there's a fascination inside me that wants to see what I could do in the creative space. Maybe it's writing poetry, maybe it's building things out of wood or clay or painting or whatever it is that seems to be just niggling away in the background there. And perhaps it's something you've pushed down over and over again, like trying to hold that beach ball underwater. Every time it starts to rear its head, you just push it back down because life's busy and you've got lots of responsibilities and things that you've been told that perhaps you should be doing. And perhaps you've convinced yourself you need to be doing, perhaps you do need to be doing those things. But what if you could carve out just an hour or two a day? Just an hour or two a day instead of perhaps watching television or scrolling through whatever it is that you're prone to scrolling through. Imagine if you invested that time in a bit of a creative endeavour. Well, that's exactly what 11-11-22 project is. So if you want to be a part of it, you can just start making stuff. Maybe you've got some crayons and you can pinch some paper from the photocopier at work and you just start making stuff. In the next 2 weeks, I'd love to set up a Zoom call for anyone who is participating in the Creative Challenge to share their experience, and we'll see what comes out of it. So I'm sharing this also because a little bit of social pressure tends to help me. Because I do get caught in preparation mode. I end up investigating and researching things rather than just trusting what I know and having a go. So, for the next 11 days, I'll be creating small mini podcasts like this at 5.5 minutes long, 5.5 being easily divisible into 11. So I just thought, yeah, it sounds like a good fit. And I hope that you are either inspired to think about this or perhaps to join me. And in 11 weeks' time, the end goal, which I reckon would be fantastic, would be to have a little bit of an art show, exhibition, music space, even if it's just in my garage, where we can come together and share our work. So, with that said, Barku, have a great week. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thanks.